Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back. If you're here for the first time, welcome. And lots of familiar faces. Great to see everyone tonight. This is the last and third of our sessions for this month. So, welcome to everyone. If you know the venue already, that's great. If not, toilets are just out the door here to your left, and around the corner there's a couple of toilets. There's more downstairs, but this should be all right here. Of course, the shop downstairs, if you haven't been through, the stairs, that if you go out and make a left and go around and down the stairs there, and then again a left, you go inside and we have the shop there. If you haven't been here for a while, it's been redone in the last 6 months from the corner where it used to be. Anyway, let's get straight into the lecture for tonight. Just a little note for last week with my wife's presentation. If you went back to look at it, you might have noticed that part of it was lost, and we apologize for that. We didn't get the stream of the first bit. It's gone into oblivion. So it is what it is. This one should be all ready to go. I got the thumbs up that the stream is going tonight, so it'll all be recorded for later reference. So feel free to go back and look at Schofield's Church on YouTube. But for tonight, the lecture will be brought to us by Susan. Susan runs a health clinic down in Parramatta, and helping people to look after their health. And Susan's going to talk to us tonight about something special. So please welcome Susan Lasovic.
Good evening. Thank you for all coming tonight. And you're probably wondering why you were given a bottle of water. So tonight's topic is, what do you know about H2O? Because in the clinic I'm in, I find a lot of results from dehydration and what it can cause a lot of illnesses. Something so simple, and some people find it so hard to put that in and drink it. So that's the easiest, simplest medicine. Because our body is 60% comprised of water. The brain is 73%, the heart is 73%, the lungs are about 83%, the skin contains 64%, muscles and kidneys are 79%, bones are a watery 31%. And did you know that you can lose about 1 litre of water a day through perspiration? Not just on a hot day, but even on a cold day. The weather here is very dry, so the body is actually evaporating through the skin. So we still need to drink water. Even though we don't feel like it, our body needs it. Being dehydrated is just 2% impairs performance in tasks that require attention, psychomotor and immediate memory skills, as well as assessment of the subjective state. So sometimes we feel a bit tired or not having such a good memory. Some of that can be because we're not drinking enough water. If we drink enough water during the day, we will still feel pretty good and alert even in the evening because our body is hydrated. If we haven't, we will see some of the symptoms of dehydration. So take a sip of water whenever you feel like you need to. Okay, if you need a mental boost, sip a cup of water, because what does a cup of coffee do? It actually dehydrates you, because coffee is a stimulant. You may think you're getting energy from it, but coffee is a stimulant that actually pushes your adrenals, and when the adrenals are working harder, your body becomes dehydrated or becomes thirsty. When you're in a fight and flight situation, that's when your adrenals go in hard. because they want to help you get over it, but they're actually using a lot of hydration in your body. So skip the coffee, drink water. Since your brain is made up of 73% water, drinking it helps you think, focus, concentrate, and stay alert. As a result, your energy levels also improve. And we all want to know how to lose weight, and we often spend a lot of money in losing weight or going to places to lose weight, but water is a very good aid to lose. Sometimes we need the help of someone nudging us to drink the water. Water helps you to feel full. My mum used to always say when we were hungry, "I'm hungry, drink some water." It's like, that doesn't fill me up. But apparently, as it does, if you drink it, it satisfies you a little longer. Sometimes the need for hunger is often confused with the need for thirst. Our body is generally more thirsty than it is hungry, but often we feed our body more than we do hydrate it. It also raises our metabolism, so it helps us to burn more. And water has 0 calories. Another benefit water is to help our body rid itself of waste. What if we were never able to get rid of our waste from our system? If we were never able to get rid of the rubbish bin from our kitchen, how would it smell in a few days? Not very nice, and everything would go all icky. When our body is also, when we're not drinking enough water, we're not flushing enough out, so our bodies are affected as well. And we want to keep flushing out little kidney stones as well, get rid of urinary tract infection. Stones are when little, basically toxic deposits start accumulating. So we want to keep all those toxins free and flowing out. The body has given us escape routes to keep us clean, and we should help those escape routes. Also, it improves your complexion, keeps it fresh, soft, glowing, and smooth. And not water, you can make water interesting. You can add lemon to it, greens, like add a little bit of spinach and mint to it. You're still hydrating, and it's amazing how much it helps your skin. If you want to get rid of acne, drink more water. Any blemishes, it's very helpful. Wrinkles as well. Water helps keep the skin nice and soft, and it also keeps the softness, the wrinkles away. Because what happens when you see someone who's really been in the sun for a long time? What does their face look like? Very dehydrated, isn't it? I was doing, in the States when I was working in skincare and other spa therapies, I had a lady that come to me and she had a face like a leather bag. She'd been in the Florida sun for too long. So she came in every week for quite a while. That was her nice little luxury time to come in, and we did hydration facials. And her friends couldn't believe her after 3 or 4 sessions, how plump and nice her face looked. Of course, I was pushing her to put it in this way too, to get it internally. And of course, cleansing. Anti-aging treatment, of course, anti-aging is when you have less wrinkles. Water also helps us maintain regularity. The number one question when I have clients that come in that are very constipated, is they're not drinking enough water, or the water they do drink is being squished by things that dehydrate. Caffeine, soft drinks, cigarettes, stress is a big one that will dehydrate you, because stress burns the adrenals. And so that's also causes us to look aged, and our body is also craving water. So being regular is the result of a healthy digestive system, and drinking water helps prevent constipation. And also foods that have lots of water. What foods can you get that have lots of water? Watermelon, but any raw food is basically still intact with its water and fibre and nutrients. So more salads, leafy greens in its natural state, fruits, and you've got the water in the food as well. So when we cook a lot of our food, we're actually dehydrating the water from it. And so the good part of the food is actually in the pot, and we eat the others. So when you're making vegetables and that, try and keep the waters to make soup or something, and just keep those nutrients. Water also helps us during the cold and flu season. When our body gets a bit toxic or irritated, it starts making mucus in the body to protect itself from those toxins. And then eventually those mucus starts filling up, and the body's looking for a way to kind of rid it. So it's going to throw it out through a cough or a cold, and so there's mucus. So we run to the chemist and we get medication to stop our colds and our coughs. And what does that do? That dries up all the mucus, all the membranes, and we may feel like it suppresses all the need for the body to expel. And eventually that becomes worse because the toxins are still backed up in there. When you have a cold or a cough and you have excess mucus, just drink lots of water, hot lemon water. Get the body to throw it all out so that all that mucus can disappear. Headaches. Who has headaches? Anyone ever had a headache before? We've all had headaches. Have you ever noticed sometimes at the end of the day or the next morning you have a headache, and if you think back, you just think, how much water did I drink today? Or how much water did I drink yesterday? And eventually you'll probably realise, oh, I didn't drink enough. Sometimes I find clients, they may even drink 1 cup of water a day, only just to get their pills down. And that's not enough. So then they end up with symptoms, health symptoms. So they go to the doctor with those symptoms, and what does he give them? Another medication that will dehydrate them. And so they end up with more symptoms. Sometimes if you're cramping, muscle cramps, sprains, the body needs water. If you're dehydrated, you can often have cramping. Body temperature. Our body needs to regulate its temperature. It needs water to do it. Just like a filter, we need water, because perspiration is needed to keep our body cool. Also, we don't often think that water is needed in our spine, in our vertebrae. A lack of water can compromise these discs, our vertebrae and the discs, leading to back pain. And I had a lady in yesterday. She was also very, very full of waste, and it caused backaches. And you would never think, because she wouldn't look like she had constipation, because she had a flat tummy to start with, but it was pushing on her back. So backaches can be from dehydration or pressure from a backed up colon. It also improves our heart health Water maintains the proper viscosity of blood and plasma and fibrinogen, which is a protein plasma distribution. So it's very important to have water to keep our heart going and pumping properly. It also prevents bad breath. It washes away the bacteria leading to bad breath, cleans out the leftover food particles. So it's good to often swish our mouth out after we've eaten with some water. And also, if we've been drinking alcohol, the biggest cause of a hangover is dehydration. That's the painful effect of a hangover, because alcohol dehydrates largely. And so if you want to be sociable, drink some mineral water. And a lot of clients find that that's quite easy to do. Just be sociable, but drink mineral water. You're still drinking with your friends, but you're having something that doesn't harm your body and doesn't harm your mind either. When your internal organs are running better, you're more likely to feel better about yourself. If you're feeling healthy, how do you feel emotionally? You can tackle problems, can't you, when you're feeling good? When we used to put people on detox programs in Atlanta, and we would, after 10 days of cleansing, they couldn't believe how they were able to get out of jobs they couldn't handle, relationships they were able to solve, and all that, because they started feeling better in their body. And it gives them ability to cope. When your body's feeling down, it's very easy for your mind to feel a bit down and low too. Water is free, it's not expensive. Even bottled water is still cheaper than the sugar water that you get, which is in soft drinks and all the sodas and even fruit juices. It's better to drink water than a fruit juice, unless you're making it freshly squeezed and it's not processed. No side effects from drinking water. So start today. When you wake up in the morning, till you wake up till about noon, your body's in a cleansing mode. Your body wants to cleanse. That's the time it needs to use the bathroom and get things moving. And how do we do that? Because we haven't had water for a good probably 7, 8 hours, and it needs hydration to get the digestion and everything moving. So as soon as you wake up in the morning, get a nice try and drink 500 to 700 mils of water. You can put lemon in it, maybe keep it a little bit warm, and that will just start your digestion, and you'll feel much better for the day. Don't start your morning with coffee, because you're basically it's like drinking mud to cleanse your body. Start your day with water to flush it through. If you need coffee, have it later, so that you're not dehydrating as soon as your body's craving for that cleanse. If you need energy, when you wake up in the morning, what's that telling you? That you're not resting, your body's not resting or something. We should wake up feeling energized, and our body is craving nutrients. If we need to whip ourselves as soon as we wake up with a boost of stimulant, then it's saying that our body is dragging. So when we wake up and we feel energized from our rest, then our body just needs hydrating. And just keep it going that way. Don't keep whipping ourselves, because eventually you keep whipping a horse, what does it do? It just starts getting slower and slower. It just can't maintain that anymore. doesn't like that. And so same with our body. When we keep whipping ourselves with stimulants, our adrenals get exhausted, and it's called adrenal fatigue. And we just can't cope then. Jump-starting our mind and our body by using a reusable water bottle and just keep filling it up. See if you can fill it up 3 litres every day. Makes a big difference. And you'll notice if you're eating foods that are full of water, you'll feel less thirsty. And fruits and things that have water, you'll feel less thirsty. But just don't wait until you're thirsty to drink water. Just keep sipping it along, because if you wait till you're thirsty, your body's already dehydrated. So just keep sipping. Every hour at least, maybe try and have a cup of water. So even though you may start, which is harder for elderly or older people, when you start drinking water, yes, it's a problem because you'll always end up going a few more times to the bathroom. But that's because your kidneys are cleaning. They've got water now and they want to cleanse. After a while, your kidneys will be able to handle the extra water and you'll be able to be, okay. So don't worry about the little bit of inconvenience. Your body will balance out and handle more. You'll be happier, healthier, and more efficient with a properly hydrated brain. There are a few more examples. I'm just going to talk about them, but the benefits of water externally. Of course, we know the effects of bathing and cleansing. Why do we need to bathe and cleanse? We need to clean off. Are we running around in the mud every day? No. What is happening to our skin on a daily basis? Our skin is making new cells all the time, and the faster our skin is making cells, actually, the younger we'll look, because babies and children, their cell turnover rate is very fast. So we want to be anti-aging and make those cell turnover rates faster. Cleansing, bathing also takes away the dead skin cells. We actually shed as much in our skin as we do in a bowel movement a day. So that's quite a lot of skin that we actually shed. So keep cleansing, keep that new skin there on your external body. Also, water, the benefits of hot and cold contrast bathing. Has anyone tried a cold shower after a hot shower? There you go. That's your coffee buzz. You have a cool shower or even a cold shower in the morning after a nice hot shower, it actually makes you warmer because it stimulates circulation. And if you gently you just don't have to scream or anything, just let the water, you'll walk around, you'll feel warmer. And just try and count to, I do 3 minutes. Some can only handle 1 minute, but start small. And if you finish with cold, you'll feel really good. Rinse your hair in cold water, makes your hair shinier. And it keeps the circulation in your body. And you'll feel, you won't get a cold if you have hot and cold. If you have pain or inflammation in a particular area, say I have a inflammation on an elbow or a foot, put that in hot in a bowl of hot water, and then for 3 minutes, and then 1 minute in ice water, and go backwards and forwards for about 20 minutes. The inflammation will be helped and the pain will go away. Earaches. I remember my father, when I was young, we used to have earaches. And the best thing is get a cloth, nice warm hot water, even put a dry cloth there and put hot, and then ice, and then hot. And then I used to go to sleep with that and the pain would go away. It's a really good pain reliever and helps with inflammation as well. If you have swellings in your legs, Your lymph system is not working the best. Then put your feet in hot water, even up to your ankles a bit, like in a bucket. And then alternate, go into ice and then back into hot. That stimulates all your lymphatic, and it starts getting the toxins moving away from your extremities. Colon hydrotherapy. Of course, that's what I've been doing for many years, but the benefits of just helping the body move the sludge out very gently, very naturally, it gives the body a big relief of toxic buildup, and it helps the body cope then with health and restoring your body's health. It's not hard to do. Most people are afraid of what they don't know, but once you've tried it, it's great. You feel clean, light. You can lose 2 to 5 kilos in a session of waste. You'd be surprised what's in there and what you don't want in there. Water aerobics. That's a very good way of exercising, isn't it? Using water. And some of the most sought after resorts, what do they always offer? Something to do with water, steam baths and anything to do with hot tubs and all that. It's very, very relaxing, isn't it, for the body? Very beneficial for your health. And exercise in water is very, you don't use any strain too many muscles, but you're also moving and you're resisting with the pressure of the water. So thank you for listening, and I hope you are drinking your water bottle and keep drinking it. Hopefully you'll finish this before you go to sleep. And take one of these pamphlets and read these tonight, H2O.
Thank you, Susan. Well, water on the inside and out. Really important, isn't it? Yeah, fantastic. Well, tonight we've got some exciting things as the ladies are getting ready. Exciting things to see, to sample this evening. While we're just getting set up, I thought I'd mention a couple of things. You have been handed, when you came in, some papers. There's a couple of programs we'd just like to make everyone aware of. In July, this thing about soy, right? Is soy good? What do you do with it? So there's an actual day on soya beans, and looking at the actual soya bean, because a lot of us know soy from, say, tofu or soy milk or something, but anyway, there's on the Sunday, is it Sunday the 28th, 10:30. That is a Sunday, right? Yeah, it doesn't say, does it?
Yeah,
no.
It's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday, Sunday 28th of July. So welcome to come along, and we'll have a soybean day here. And the other one is Optimize Your Brain. Now, some of you might know that we ran a program here by Dr. Neil Nedley called the Depression Recovery Program. Anybody heard of that one? Depression Recovery Program? Yes. Okay. It's another set of information that he's put together that sort of off the back of Depression Recovery Program and all the work that he's done on brain health. It's called Optimize Your Brain. So things like nutrition for optimal brain health, how patterns of thinking can affect your brain chemistry and your brain function, and just all sorts of things from nutrition, exercise, all sort of lifestyle things that you can do for optimal brain health. Now, there is sort of a cost involved in everything, but what we would like to do is we're going to, because the cost just involves materials that you will take home and keep forever, right, basically. But what we're going to do, you turn around on the back, there's 2 information sessions that will be held next month. One on the long weekend on the 10th, and if you can't make that one, then the next week on the 17th. The actual program will begin in July, but we just want to run a couple of info sessions, pick one or the other. You don't have to come to both, obviously, but just come along and we'll explain what's happening, what it's about. So what is it, 7 o'clock, either of those 2 Monday evenings, okay? And we can explain a little bit about how it works, and you can decide whether that's something that you'd like to come to. So starts in July, but the info sessions are next month. So Any questions, ring the number, but it's pretty self-explanatory, and I hope to see you if you'd like to come along on that evening. And just basically, it'll be about 6 weeks of a program, works you through all the different points about brain health, from nutrition to genetics to lifestyle and everything. So we're looking forward to that. I think it's the first time we've run that here, and so looking forward to that, what information we can all share and learn together. Okay, those are a couple of things for your enjoyment, but I think we're ready for the first. Yes, Rosetta? So I'll hand it over to Rosetta, and we'll go for, well, she'll tell you. Asparagus? All right, I love asparagus. Let's see what happens, yeah?
Good evening, everybody. Are we ready? Okay, we got, first up, we're going to give you a yummy salad. Who tried anything from last week? Did anyone try it from last week? Did you enjoy it? Yes. Okay, that's very good. I was actually really amazed about the bread that we made, the gluten-free bread, out of quinoa. I thought that was amazing, and it's so good. Not far away, we're doing we're having a do, and I have to make pizzas, and I'm thinking, like before that, I was thinking, oh no, I have to do something gluten-free. Now I know what to do gluten-free, so it's really good. Okay, the salad, we've got another yummy salad full of lovely greens and reds, and really good for you. This one's not gluten-free, by the way, but you could be if you leave out the bread. Okay, so what we've got, first thing is a little bit of prep to do if you want. You don't have to. You can leave your asparagus completely raw, chopped up, and put in the salad if you like. But what we've done tonight, we've actually blanched it. It doesn't say it on the recipe, but we actually blanched it first, just steeped it into hot water and brought it back out. And it comes this lovely green colour, and it stays that lovely green colour. It doesn't go, like usually when you cook asparagus, it sort of goes a bit brown, mushy, but this keeps the vibrancy with it. So that's what we've done. And then once we've blanched it, we took it out, and then you a little bit of crushed garlic, a little bit of olive oil in a pan, and put it into there and just tossed it through, just like a stir-fried, just very quickly, and then taken it out again. And that's given flavour, a little bit of garlic and oil, and a little bit of salt or seasoning. We've used stock to season it. And that gives a little bit of extra flavour when you put in your salad. As I said, you can leave it raw and just chop it up and put it in your salad, but we've given you a bit of variation tonight. So we start off with our rocket. Beautiful rocket, nice, a little bit peppery. Who likes rocket? My mum grows it in her garden. I don't. But I know it's good for me. I do eat it. But yeah, different, something different. Anyway, rocket. So we start off just lovely rocket, beautiful rocket. Then we can it's just a matter of adding our ingredients together. Another thing that we've done beforehand, we've got some lovely bread. It was some lovely sourdough, wholemeal sourdough bread. And what we did with it, we cut it into slices, and then we put it on a grill pan. And we grilled it, both sides, so it has the lovely stripes in it, the lovely smell, that aroma, that smoky sort of aroma it gives it. And then what we've done, we've chopped it up into crouton sizes. Then we put it in the oven, tossed it, and then put it in the oven, and just let it dry on a 150 degree oven for about half an hour, and halfway through that you take it out, toss it, mix it around, and you're just making croutons basically. But they've got that lovely grilled, smoky sort of flavour about them. So that's what we've done beforehand, before we put the salad together. It doesn't explain it all on your recipe, but I've just told you how to do it. So if you want, you can just write that down. It gives you some of that information on the recipe, but yeah, that's what we've done. Another thing that we're doing is our seeds at the end. All it is, we've got pepitas, which are pumpkin seeds. We've got sunflower seeds and sesame seeds. You put them in a fry pan and you dry roast them, just so that they bring out their flavour a bit. You can add a tiny, tiny bit of oil if you want, just to help with the flavouring of it. And you just do that, so you've got that as well. You can do that in advance and you can keep that, and you can actually eat it as a snack if you like, use it for other things or whatever. But that's what we're going to use on top of our salad as well. So, rocket. Lovely basil. Who loves basil? That's really yummy, really good for you. So it's just a matter of putting all our greens together. Our asparagus, yummy, with the garlic, gives a nice flavour to our salad. And then we've got our tomatoes. We've just got lovely medley of tomatoes, lovely, the Russians and the yellows and the reds and blacks and a bit of everything. And it just adds to the colour and the flavour and the excitement of the salad. So it's just a matter of tossing them in as well. Toss it through. The last thing you do is the bread just before you serve it, because otherwise it might go a bit limp. The dressing. We've got lime juice, a little bit of stock powder. You can use salt, up to you. Bit of olive oil. You can mix that up as well. You do whatever you want. I mean, it's all about experimenting and finding the flavours that you like and that you enjoy. So if you like something a little bit sweeter, you can put that in. Okay. Our croutons. Yum. This looks so good. Nice and colourful. And our seeds. And the seeds give it that lovely crunch. And all our proteins as well, so it's really good. And that's our salad done. Nice, quick and easy and yum. That's it. Enjoy it. You'll be getting it soon. And next will be Lydia. She'll be up next. She's disappeared out the back. Here she comes. Whoa.
Good evening, everybody. How are you? Are you warm enough? In here? Yes. Isn't it freezing out there? That wind was so cold, so cold. I'm glad you all came. I was thinking, I wonder how many people are going to stay home because it's so cold to go out. But I'm so happy to see you all. I hope you enjoyed tonight's presentations. And if you just bear with me for a moment till I get organised over here, and then we can start. I'm going to demonstrate for you a black beans and sweet potato casserole. So it's another winter favourite. It's really, really nice when it's a really cold night like tonight and you've got some lovely warm hot beans. And yeah, so we'll see how we go with this. Very simple and easy to do. Again, you don't need to stick with our ingredients. You can have your own ingredients. And before I start, there was a question last week. Someone asked me how to do the linseed egg and the chia egg. It's 1 tablespoon of grounded up seeds to 2 tablespoons of water. And you mix that up together and then you set it aside for about 15 minutes until it thickens up. And then you can use it as an egg. So it's 1 tablespoon of grounded seeds and 2 tablespoons of water, okay? So I did have it typed out and I forgot to print it, I'm sorry, but I can email it to you. 1 tablespoon of either linseed or chia. Flaxseed's the same as linseed, but it has to be ground up. So ground seeds and 2 tablespoons of water. Mix it together and let it rest for about 15 minutes, and you'll see it'll be a little bit gluggy, and that will be, you can use that as instead of an egg. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're going to start off by doing our beans. Now, with these black beans, actually, that we sell downstairs, they're very fresh. They don't need soaking. The black beans don't need soaking because they're really soft. So just cook them straight in the pot. So it does take a little bit of time to cook. You probably need to cook it for about 45 minutes or so, maybe an hour, depending how much you make. And but you don't need to soak it. So if you haven't remembered to soak your beans, don't worry, do black beans, and you can just put it straight. Or what you can do is just get the already can of beans. The can of beans, black beans, you can use the same. So we need the beans, and I'm going to start sautéing. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I'll start off with the onion, a 2 diced onions, or 1 diced onion, depends on how you like and what you've got in the house. So don't panic if you don't have enough, because you don't need to worry about it. So we're going to start off by sautéing that. Okay, so that will start happening. Then I'm going to just add everything else. So I'll put my garlic, I'll put my capsicum, and I've left the potatoes, sweet potatoes, inside the water so it wouldn't go black. So I can drain that out before we put it in now, because we cut this out a little bit earlier, and I don't want to, it does go black if you don't use it straight away. So now that's ready. So that's starting to sizzle, you can hear it. Okay, I love this stove. It is so good, so quick. And now with the beans, because it's already cooked, if you cooking it at home, you just do this and then put the beans in. I usually take another saucepan and do this, and then put this into the beans, because you've already got a saucepan with the beans. So I use a second saucepan and do this, and once this is semi-cooked, then I'll put it into the beans. But here I'm just going to put it all in together. I think you're going to sample our salad. Yeah. So you just saute the onions until it's a little bit see-through or a little bit soft. You can see it. So it's good. With this nice, hot, quick fire, it's going to cook up really quickly. It's getting done really fast, so that's lovely. Next, I'm going to add the garlic. Some people don't like garlic. You don't have to have it, but with beans, I think garlic is a must, at least a little bit. But I've put 4 cloves of garlic in here. Thank you. I'll just let that. Now make sure if you miss out on your sample that you call out, okay? We had someone miss out on the first night that they were here, and we didn't know. So, but they got it afterwards. But just let us know if you miss out so we can give you one. Okay, then I will add my capsicum. So when you're doing this at home, you're not going to get all these lovely chopped up vegetables, yeah? So what I do is I chop up one, put it in there, then while that's sauteing, I chop up the next one, and you keep adding to it. So you don't have to stand and wait till it's done, because it's being done as you chop it up and get it together, get it ready. Thank you, boys, for your help tonight. So we're looking at like this, and it's getting really nice and soft and yummy. Then I'm going to put my beans inside. When you finish cooking, you're going to have a little bit of water still in your bean. Leave that there, because if you want to leave it for a couple of hours after you've cooked it, that'll all emulsify, and the beans will absorb the water, and it'll all emulsify, and it'll be really, really tasty. So I've left some of the water in here. Okay. Now I'm using a taco seasoning tonight. You don't have to use taco seasoning, you can do your own. You can put cumin and some of the herbs yourself, but this is the quick way to go. So it's a taco seasoning, and I'm also using 3 stock cubes, the Marcel stock cubes. When you taste it, you will know what you need to put in. Some people like it a little bit stronger than others, some saltier and some not as salty. At home, I like things salty. My husband says you've got too much salt in. So, see if you taste your food as you go before you finalise it, to make sure that you're happy with the taste, with the seasoning. Okay, so I'm going to open the packet of the taco seasoning and put it in. Well, I was going to open it, but the scissors here. Got a knife, this is good. Okay. Like I said, you don't have to put this in, but you really need to put cumin in, because that will give it the Mexican taste. If you put nothing else, put cumin, okay? But this is it'll give it quite a nice flavour. And also the stock cubes. I might only just put 2 and then taste it for the flavour and the saltiness, if it's enough or not. How is your salad? Yeah? That's good. I know it's winter, but even in winter time, it's good to have your greens. It's good to have your salad. Keep your body hydrated. And at home, at every meal, vegetable meal, like every cooked meal, we always have a salad. Always have a salad of some sort. I think it's a European and a Brazilian thing. I don't know. Is it, Joe? Because we always have our salad. Even if it is just a raw onion chopped up with oil and salt, but it has to be something raw with that meal. We always do. Now that's ready for the, I'll just show you before I put that up. That's ready for the sweet potato. Okay, oops, sorry. It's nice and spicy and tasty. I'll add the sweet potato. And the sweet potato needs to be cooked a little bit longer than the zucchini, so that's why we put the zucchini in last. So we turn that down and let it simmer. Oops. Let it simmer for about maybe 20 minutes, okay? But tonight, because we haven't got a lot of time, I'm just going to put everything in and hope for the best. It'll work, believe me, it'll work. It'll just be a little bit softer, that's all. This will be our lunch tomorrow. Those that are in the office will share this. So, this one you can either use vegetable or you can use the chicken style Marcel. I always use the Marcel stock cubes because that's 100% vegetarian. So this one here is vegetable actually. Yeah. It didn't say on the recipe, and I meant to ask you to write it in. You don't have to put that in, you can, or you can put the stock powder if you don't want the cubes, whatever you have in your cupboard, or just vegetable salt. So, or none of the above. It depends on just plain salt, whatever you want to. Yeah. Okay, now that's simmering nicely. So I'm going to put a lid on this, and we're going to go into the next thing so that we can save a little bit of time. While that's simmering, I think Rosetta's going to do the next. Now, once these beans are done, you can serve it on top of all sorts of things. You can serve it on top of rice, you can serve it on top of wheat, you can serve it on top of corn chips. So whatever you like, even potatoes, you can put it with baked potatoes. So whatever you feel like eating, you can have your beans with it. And beans are a really good source of protein, and it's really a good, strong legume to have, especially during the winter months. It's really good. So I will give Rosetta the microphone, and I'll keep an eye on this. It'll simmer for the next 20 minutes, and then we can have a look at it, okay? Oh, Rosetta's coming, so I'll just get this out for her. She's probably needs... simmer. Okay. Okay. I think we need to get another one.
Mike. Okay, back again. This goes on top of the beans. This is what we serve with the beans, what I'm going to make now. We're going to make a sour cream, vegan sour cream. I'm sure we've made it before, but for those of you who are new, you can see it, how it's done, very easy. We love doing easy things. I do anyway. Okay, you need a good blender, otherwise your hand will get a bit sore. We're going to have almond meal is our first ingredient. It's just ground up almonds. If you don't have, yes, I was just going to say, if you don't have almond meal, if you've got almonds, whole almonds, just grind them up. Just do them in a nut grinder and you've got almond meal. Yeah, or you can just do it in the Vitamix as well. Just put a handful of nuts in the Vitamix before you start, and you've got your almond meal to start with. So it's just a cup of almond meal. I'm actually demonstrating just half a portion, just half a cup rather than a full cup. And then we need milk. No, I'm doing a full portion. That was half a cup. Yep. Cup of milk. Then we're going to make a bit of noise, a bit of salt. Now it's just like making a regular mayonnaise. Anyone made mayonnaise at home from scratch? Yeah, it's just milk and oil. Yeah, well this is the same thing, exactly the same principle. We've got lemon juice and we also have oil. Depending on which oil, if you put olive oil, depending whether you like the flavour or not, if you like, we're using rice bran oil, or you can use sunflower oil or olive oil if you like the stronger flavour in your sour cream. If you don't want the oil flavour to overpower, then use a less flavoured oil. So we're going to use...
olive oil, you've got to use the light so it doesn't go bitter.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. So you use the light flavoured olive oil, otherwise it can go bitter with the full-bodied one. Okay, we're going to make a bit of noise now. This takes a few minutes to work. So what I'm going to do, I'll explain it to you, I'm just going to drizzle the oil in, okay? I'm going to turn this on, and as it's going, I drizzle the oil in. When it's done, nearly done, right at the end, you put your lemon juice in, and that sets it and hardens it at the end. And plus it gives it a sour taste, so it actually tastes like sour cream. So here we go. All of it. How do you know when it's ready? When you're putting the oil in, you notice I didn't put all the oil that it said on the recipe. Sometimes you need all the oil, sometimes you don't. I think it depends whether it's the milk or the consistency or the temperature, I'm not sure. But sometimes you use more, sometimes you use less. But these are approximate measurements that you'll need. And I only put a little bit of lemon juice, because I waited too long and it actually got thick and stopped blending, okay? So in order for the taste, I needed to put the lemon juice in earlier, okay, so that it would all mix up. So it's actually gone hard. You can add the lemon juice now. You just have to mix it with a spatula or something, because I did put the last drop in and it's still sitting there. So you do have to mix it by hand, because unless you pulsate it within the... See, it's quite thick, just like a sour cream. Yeah, I think because we've used the almond meal, we don't need to put as much oil in. So we can add a little bit more lemon in it just to give it the flavour. And of course that'll make it a little bit runnier, but it's still quite thick. Yeah? That's it. Sour cream done. And that tastes just as good as sour cream. It's good.
All right, you're going to sample those beans very soon. They're flat out dishing it out, so just be a little bit patient. These beans here are doing really well. The vegetables are lovely. I'll see if I can hold it up a little bit so you can see it. I don't know if you can see it. It's really nice. Okay, now that'll thicken up. The longer you let it sit there, it'll thicken up because some of the moisture is being dehydrated. Okay, and what we're going to do last is we're going to poach some pears. Now, who likes pears? Okay, not all of you, but I think you're going to like this one. Okay, so I'm going to use, usually when they poach pears, they use wine. Sometimes they use champagne, all sorts of different spirits. Well, tonight we're going to use the real wine, the grape juice. Okay, so I'm using dark grape juice. It's 100% pure grape juice. So that's what we're going to use to poach our pears. Okay, now, usually to poach a pear, you need a nice firm pear, something that'll hold its shape, and it cooks nice. So the bosque is quite a good one to do. I did do some Packham pears as well, but they were still firm, but they were half green. They weren't ripe. But if you use the right Packham, it's going to fall apart. But the bosque pears are really good for this purpose. So I just peel them as such, like go down. If I could just get this peeler. I don't have my peeler here. I'll change. The one I got at home is very easy. So just peel the... Wow, somebody said wow. It is a wow. And I'm sure, like I said, if you don't like pears, you're going to love this. Okay? And pears is a really good source of roughage. Okay? So Susan was talking about water tonight. Pear also is like a broom. It helps to clean out your body, your bowels. It's got a lot of roughage. So just peel up your pears. But before I keep going with the pears, I'm going to start doing the juice or the liquid that I'm going to poach it in. Okay, you need a saucepan, and on your recipe it says 3 cups of grape juice. I'm going to do half because I'm only doing 2 pears. So I'm going to do 1.5 cups of grape juice. Okay. All right. And then into that, I'm going to use a little bit of raw sugar because sugar helps it to make it syrupy. You can leave it without sugar, but sugar really helps for it to become a syrup, and that's what you want it to become. So I'm putting here 100 grams of raw sugar. You can have muscovado sugar or any of the other sugars that have the molasses in it, and that's not too bad. So I'm going to put this on the stove, and into this syrup I'm going to add 2 cloves for your mixture, but I'm only going to put 1 because I'm doing half a mix here, and 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon that I'm going to put in here. Yours said half a teaspoon of cinnamon into this liquid, and a rind. Oh, is that too hot? Are the beans too hot for you? You okay? I'm going to put, it says one teaspoon of rind, so I'm going to put half a teaspoon. Oh, actually, I'll put the whole lot. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit extra. I do that at home all the time. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. So I'm going to put half a teaspoon actually, because, but on your recipe it says 1. Now I'm started, see? I'm sympathising with you. Okay, now we take that into the stove. Now that's got to come to boil, okay? So while that's going to boil, I get on with my pear and peel the rest of the pears. If you've got 8 people coming, you would do double that quantity, but the quantity here is for 4 pears. I'm doing half because I'm only doing 2. See, it's a nice crunchy pear. The Bosque is a nice crunchy pear. Okay, our pears are ready. And now we've just got to wait for that liquid to boil. Now, that's what it's going to look like when it's ready. You're going to have your liquid and your pear after you've baked You take this out of the oven and it'll look like that, okay? Now, I'm going to skip a few steps here just for the sake of shortening the time. You remove the pear from the juice, and you put the juice in a saucepan and reduce it to about half of the amount, okay? And then afterwards you can just put it over the top of the pear again. This is starting to boil. The reason why we boil it so we can melt that sugar down. Once the sugar is melted down, that's okay. Everything's blended and you can just pour it on top of your pears. I lay them down because then you need less liquid to top them up. And at the end, when you've finished reducing your syrup, add some lemon juice, just for taste. See if you like it. If it's still too sweet, a little bit more. So this is almost ready to be poured on top. Can you get me some baking paper? This is almost ready. I'll just, yeah, this is looking really good. So I think this is done. I will show you what it looks like. Okay, while that's ready. Okay, put that back there. So the beans are ready. So I'm just going to pour it in here. Yes, they are corn chips, yeah. Okay. So that's your beans, they're ready. And then a dollop of the sour cream that Rosetta made, and then you can sprinkle it with a bit of chives. Oh, thank you, Amy.
Okay, someone said you might need a drink.
Yeah, I think I do. And some coriander. And if you leave your coriander big enough, people that don't like it, they can actually, thank you, they can actually, that's ready. They can actually take it off, so they don't have to eat it if they don't want it. Just excuse me for a minute. Thank you. I do. And I haven't had enough today. Okay, so our syrup is all ready to pour onto our pears. So just pour it onto the top. And then the syrup won't come all the way up, but you then can turn it over in about 40 minutes into the baking. You bake it for about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on your oven. Open it up and get the pair of tongs and just turn them upside down, and then they're nice and even. Now to bake them, I put a piece of, this is a bit big, but a piece of baking paper, because I don't like putting foil straight onto my food. I don't like the aluminium to drip into my food. So I always line it up with a little bit of baking paper. And cover it with the foil. Nice and snug. Tuck it all in. And I'll scrunch it up because we want to be able to lift that off. We want to be able to lift that off halfway through the baking so that we can turn our pears over. Now that's ready to place in the oven. Okay, so place that in the oven, put the oven on, set it for an hour or set it for 45 minutes. Then you come and turn it over and then put it in for another 40 minutes or so. And then switch it off and forget about it until you're ready to do your syrup. Okay, so then you just reduce your syrup to half of what it is into a saucepan and then add your lemon juice. So that's all ready to go. So that's what, when you're dishing it out, now you see that it's got something white underneath. That's a coconut custard. Now on your sheets, do they have a recipe for that? Do you have a recipe for on your sheet? Yep. Okay, it's very, very easy. What you do is you just put always leave the corn flour out so that you can mix it with your liquid, which we said reserve 1 cup of your 1 litre of your milk. So reserve that, put your corn flour in that and mix it, okay? And set that aside. And then put everything else in the pot, and when it's boiling, then you just make sure that your corn flour is mixed. And just pour it in slowly and keep whisking it until it thickens. Let it cook for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes to get that corn flour taste away from your food. And then it's ready. It's like a little pudding. So you can just put that, have that with, sometimes I just put prunes and cover it in water in the fridge. And that's really nice on top of this custard. It's delicious, and you don't need any sweetening or anything. But today we've used it for our pears, and just get some slivered almonds and just roast them in the pan or put them in the oven for a few minutes, and then you can have put that on top as well. So you'll get to try that very soon. Any questions? Yes. No, I didn't soak the black beans. I just cooked them straight as I just washed them. I just sorted them out, because sometimes there's rocks or little bits inside. So just go through them and then wash them well, and then straight in the pot and put about that much water above the beans. Okay? If you put half a kilo, it gives you quite a bit. It's about that much. Or a little bit more, actually. That one is about 450 grams. But, yeah, so it's about that. That's the quantity. Yeah. The black beans, no. The other beans, yes. But the black beans, no. You don't need to. But it does take about 50 minutes, an hour to cook. So, but it's not, it's nice. If you soak them, they fall apart too easy. By the time you cook your vegetables, they're just melted. So, yeah. Okay. Any other questions? Are you ready to go home, or you want dessert? It's coming. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to, could you get me a saucepan? And I'm going to reduce this juice, please. So did you enjoy your Mexican beans? Hold that there. Everyone's quiet now. Sorry? Okay, I'm going to reduce this syrup, and we're going to get half of it's going to evaporate, and then you'll get a nice syrup, nice thick syrup on this. Okay. And the lemon juice will tone the sweetness down, okay? If you put on your syrup, you just work out how you like it. You can put lots of lemon or not, depending on your taste buds. Do you like it? Yeah? I bet there's a few more pear converts in the room now. That's good. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. Now, I've got to talk, I don't know if anybody has mentioned, we're having a hands-on workshop for soybeans. Did they tell you about that? Okay, unfortunately, we can only cater for 30. So, first in, first served. So think about it. give us a call and register if you want to. But we'll be doing a whole lot of different dishes, things that you can make with soybeans, and I think it's going to be lots of fun. Some of you were here for our raw workshop. A couple of people here, I can see you, but it can be really, really fun. We can have a really good day, and yeah, so think about it. Not everyone is into soybeans, but you'd be surprised how many things you can make from soybeans. There is nothing that you throw away. You can make the milk, you can make the tofu, you can use the okara and make something with that. You can make sweets, you can make savoury, you can make a whole lot of things. So it'll be a really nice, fun day. So think about it, and yeah, and let us know if you're interested, okay? And there's a few other things I think Nathan's going to talk about it. You went through it all? Oh, sorry, I wasn't in here. Sorry, Nathan.
So I think we got it all.
Okay.
Now, are we set down for October?
October cooking demos, we haven't got the date yet, but it'll be the weekend after the long weekend. The Monday after, not the long weekend Monday, but that following week we're going to have the cooking demos.
So
So
I think
what
it's
date's that?
14. I think it's 14, 21, and 28.
Exactly.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Of October.
Yes,
Yes.
that's it. Yep.
Good. So I've already talked about optimize your brain. You've got a paperwork on that.
The shop, we're having a sale
Yes,
downstairs.
the soy day.
The soy hands-on workshop.
The shop will be open after what else? Is that it?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So there's some flyers. They can take some flyers
Yes.
around the corner.
Yes, that's right. Okay.
All right.
So we run the program. It's all volunteers, and we just run it on a cost basis by donation. So you're free to come and go. If you'd like to leave a donation, help us out by doing that. But we just do this because we love food, we love people, and what a great way to get people together and do something that's good for you, right? So thanks to the ladies and all the helpers tonight. Thank you to you all. You've made this possible.
That's it.
You've been great. We
Yay.
love it, and thank you so much. That's it for tonight. Oh, a bit early tonight, eh? Yeah,
Wow.
so fantastic before
Because
9.
I kept them back last week, and this week I thought, oh, I'm going to see if we can keep on time.
Yeah, so we'll let you go home earlier tonight, and appreciate that. Susan, I think Susan had to go, but if anyone was interested, she did leave a couple of business cards here, a few business cards at the table if someone wanted to get in touch with her. I think she's had to go because I haven't seen her here in the last few minutes. Other than that, I think that's it. You know everything about everything now, and hope you've enjoyed it. We'll just dismiss you with a prayer of blessing, so if you'd like to bow your heads with me. Dear Lord in heaven, thank you so much for a beautiful time we can spend together, for food, for fellowship, for people, for health, and just pray your blessing be upon each person and the families represented here. May all have a good night, as we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Good night, all. God bless you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.